All of you. Got my notes. We're glad so many of you were able to come. Before you get started, I want to explain a little bit about what we're doing today. All of you are familiar with the PRISM presentations that Mama and Miss Gloria did over all the years, where they put together a presentation based on the poems written by Saluda High School students. Well, this time I put together a script based on Mama's poems from her book. It's a script that tells the story of and celebrates her life. Fortunately, Ms. Caldwell stepped forward one more time to try to help us put it together, which we really appreciate, but she had a really hard time because we come from all over the place. So it turns out that this moment right now is the very first moment that we've all been on stage together. In fact, it's what you'll see, we're all reading our parts because there's no way that we could have memorized them. We didn't want to memorize them. We didn't want to try to fancy up what we're doing. It's raw, it's simple, but it's very heartfelt, and I think it's going to be fine. I'd like to begin first by introducing a special guest who's joined us today. That's Josh Bolden over here from Winthrop University. You know, Winthrop University is where Mama's scholarship is. And Josh was just telling me that the last year's recipient of the scholarship is beginning his first year as a teacher in the Clover School District right now. As an elementary school teacher, so we're really excited about that. Josh also let me know that for all the people who've received Mama's scholarship, and at this point there's somewhere around a dozen or so, that to have that scholarship on their resume is a huge positive check. So and I wish that Mama could know all that what she wanted, what was so important to her, has really made a difference in the world. Now we're going to introduce ourselves up here on the stage so you won't get too confused as we go along.
So, I'm William, Bela's son, and I will be the stage manager, which basically means that I'm going to be doing what Madeline told me to do.
Yes, I'm Don Haycraft. I am Bela's son-in-law. I'm Madeline Herlong's spouse. And I'm going to be playing Bela's brother, Doug.
I'm Jesse Haycraft, Madeline's son and Bela's grandson. And I'll be playing Davenport Paget, Bela's father and my great-grandfather.
Hopefully I don't have to read notes for this. I'm James Haycraft. I'm Madeline's son and Bela's grandson, and I'm playing Jimmy Herlong. Her husband.
And I'm Travis Haycraft, Madeline's son and Bela's grandson, and I'll be playing Jim Herlong, Bela's son and my uncle.
Olivia? Oh, no.
Okay. I'm Alice Herlong Poe, and I'm Bela's daughter, and I'm going to be playing Bela as a teacher.
I'm Hayward Poe. I am affectionately known as her husband, Alice's husband. I am the son-in-law of Bela, and I'll be playing Bill Whitfield, who is the beloved principal of Saluda. Go Tigers!
I'm Paget. And I'm Harrison. And we are Alice's sons and Bela's grandchildren. And we are going to play two of her students.
I'm Olivia Chapelier. I am Bela's great-granddaughter, and I will be playing Child and Child Bela.
I'm Rosemary Herlong. I'm Bela's niece, and I will be playing the role of Bela as a mother.
All right.
No, I'm just going to introduce myself real quick. I didn't get to tell you that what I'm doing is playing Mama as she was on February the 15th, 2021.
Okay, everybody, get in your places. We can turn the lights all the way down now. Focus it. As you can see, we are at the cemetery at Emory United Methodist Church right here in Saluda County. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and there's a light breeze. Enough to keep you cool, even though it's almost the hottest part of the day. Getting on toward 3, I think. I haven't seen the school bus go by yet, but it won't be long. And look, here she comes, the star of our show. She doesn't know it yet, though. Not yet. Hello there.
Oh, I know you. You're the stage manager from the play Our Town. I must have taught that play 100 times.
And I know you. You're Bela Herlong, and you are looking at your daddy's and your mama's grave.
I am. I'm 89 years old, and I still miss them. Daddy lived to be 95. I don't think I'm gonna make it that long.
Douglas Davenport Paget. You wrote a book about him.
Oh, no. I didn't write it. He wrote it. He just dictated to me every Sunday, and I wrote it down for 10 years.
And then you took all those pages and you edited them and you made them into a book. You even rearranged a few things, didn't you?
Well, Daddy couldn't tell his story without starting with the great-great-grandparents and who married who and where they lived. Otherwise, it just didn't make any sense to him. And I thought that since the book was about him, it should start right in on him. So yes, I changed that part.
Is that true for you too? The order that your life doesn't make any sense without going way back?
Well, not as far back as Daddy went, but when I think about it, I can't really separate the thread of my life from the thread of theirs.
Who?
Oh, Mama's and Daddy's. I have to go back at least that far.
And you have, haven't you? In a poem you wrote.
Oh, you are sneaky. Yes, you were headed there all along, weren't you? And yes, I did write a poem about them.
You called it Lessons of Love. Here it is. Why don't you read it?
I'll read it right here, okay? Yeah. Milton, Shakespeare, Chaucer never told me what my father taught. Buckle down, he'd say, as we hoed the corn. Stand hitched, he'd advise, as we picked the cotton. Faulkner, Emerson, Thoreau never taught me what my mother believed. Do your best, she urged, as she helped me with Latin or algebra. Study hard, she cautioned, as we scrubbed the clothes in wash tubs. My parents drew a picture of love, shaded by poverty and anger, lighted with hopes and dreams, framed with unselfishness. A masterpiece for me to study.
All that cotton picking and laundry scrubbing happened in that old house out on Mount Willen Road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nearby, I think I remember, nearby there's a spring, isn't there?
Yeah, at the bottom of the hill, about halfway to Mount Moses Church.
And that's you, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, me at about 8, I'm guessing, coming back from the spring.
Why the bucket?
Well, Mama had sent me to get some water. We didn't have a well at the house just yet. Daddy put one in much later.
Shh, she's talking.
The men's black and white striped suits stood stark against the grass around the brown terracotta of the spring. There were strange zebras sleeping in the shade with mouths open, and dirty hats over their eyes. A chain clanged now and then as an ankle moved. Crumbled brown sacks flew across the ground. Not a crust of bread was left from their lunch. Even the chain gang guard nodded against the big walnut tree, his gun across his knees. I moved non-noiselessly back up the hill, my water bucket empty.
Fresh.
Fresh? Short for precious?
Daddy, Daddy, Daddy!
He can't hear you.
Why not?
Listen, he's talking.
Go on up the house. I'll get the water. Fresh was always sweet, cute as a button, always wondering. You had to listen to her, be careful what she said. Like that time when she sat down beside me here on the front steps and looked out across the field in front of the house and said, "Daddy, I had a bad dream." She was almost crying. I put my arm around her. "What was it, Presh?" "There was a big hand," she said. "A giant hand, riding across the sky." What could I say? I hugged her close and told her, "That's the hand of God, Presh. The hand of God."
Oh, how I loved him